Hello and welcome to Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis racing team. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jackie. We are a mum and son coaching team who have changed our lives through the sport of triathlon.
Our podcast aims to break down the mysteries of triathlon training and show you, the listener, how simple and flexible it can be so that it really does become part of your lifestyle and not just a hobby.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Triathlonology, a podcast by Animis racing team.
I'm Coach Jackie.
And I'm Coach Ollie, and together we're a mum and son coaching team based in North Lincolnshire and South Yorkshire. And in this podcast we give out our advice, stories and anecdotes.
Yeah, a bit of Yorkshire humour.
In our indomitable Yorkshire style. So, what are we going to talk about today?
I thought we'd better give everyone an update on how our triathlon went.
Yes. So we did our spring triathlon on the 28th of April this year, which is a few weeks earlier than we normally do it. But it was really good, wasn't it? So it happened that we were probably one of the first events of the year, and that at that point we were the only event on in Yorkshire as well, weren't we?
Yeah, we were told, yeah.
So we had 101 people enter.
No, we had 110.
110 people enter, sorry, yeah. 110 people enter, which is 30 more than entered last time in September and in the spring before that. So a record number of entries of events.
Yeah. So we're hoping that's a good trend. Because talking to the suppliers, who, you know, obviously you have to get race numbers and trophies and all that load of palaver. And the race number guy told me that because obviously he supplies them for it all over the country, he was under the impression from these numbers that triathlons are improving, numbers are improving.
More people are entering, because that's what we were concerned about.
Yeah,
we were just getting a boost because there were no other event on that day.
Yeah, but...
More people doing triathlon again.
But there seem to be more people doing triathlon again.
Which is good.
Which is excellent, because it's what we are... really striving for, and something that we'll talk about at the end.
Well, yes, and also our next episode where you will see the launch of our new campaign.
Yes.
Hopefully.
And merch.
Yes. So,
it was really sunny.
yes, it was. We were fortunate with the weather, because
Yeah.
when we booked it in April, we were like, well, if it winds it down like last year, it's going to be a real washout. But it didn't.
Because I was well prepared. I'd got my youngest lad who'd gone to Florida to buy loads of Disney ponchos
but
for the marshals if it were raining.
Well, no, it was brilliantly blue sunshine. It got really warm towards the end as well, towards the middle of the day for people on the run bit, so they weren't particularly... they weren't cold or anything like that, were they? So
it was a really lovely day.
Really lovely day, and we managed to get everybody in and out. We had no problems with anybody, no medical dramas, no mechanical dramas.
No.
And the day went off relatively without a hitch.
Yeah, and we were really, really proud. And we got another good report from the referee.
Yep.
And everyone absolutely loved it. And we had our new social media reporter.
Yes, Eli.
Little Eli.
Yeah,
I hope you all saw his videos. If not, I will post some more.
Yes, Eli did a roving report around on the day, interviewing athletes and finding out what they were liking about the event and covering it for us, and we're very grateful. Thank you, Eli.
Yep, a star in the making.
Yes. You should definitely check out Eli's channel, particularly if you like football, because he goes around interviewing footballers, famous and not football, and also not famous footballers, about like people who have...
And I think I've got to say, his knowledge of football is rivaling yours and Reedy's.
Oh, I don't know, Mum.
Well, I mean, he hasn't got the back knowledge that you've got, but he is like he knows his footy.
He does. So that was a nice thing for and we borrowed the barriers from the Peatland Railway, but this time we didn't have to go and fetch them, because very kindly somebody was at the Peatland Railway and volunteered to drive them in his little trailer for us.
Yeah, which was amazing, because I have a new van.
A new electric van.
New electric van, and I don't really want to put barriers in, thank you very much.
No. So we were able to sort that out, and that were very helpful for us, wasn't it?
Well, it made life so much easier, because instead of like 2 or 3 trips, we just had one trip, loaded them up, put them in the van, he'd come drove it to Lady Centre, we unloaded them, jobs of fish.
Yeah, and then he came on Sunday and took them all back with us.
Yep, so that's all done, which made our lives a lot easier.
Yes, it did, really, really did. So hopefully, I'll remember that gentleman next year, and we'll be able to ask him to come and assist us again.
Yes.
We are also. Who else did we have new this year? Oh, the church. So the church ladies came and ran. Cora, bless her, gave up her Sunday morning to come and her family came and ran the cake stall and did teas and coffees and stuff, which was tremendously helpful. And they hopefully have made quite a bit of money on that for the church as well.
Yeah. So because we keep saying it, and we really mean it, and we hope that people see that we are a community club
and a community event.
It's a community event, and we're for helping people get into triathlon, and also we want local businesses to be involved in our event,
and local
people.
Yeah, good causes. So like the church can provide coffee and cake.
Yeah,
they get some cash out of it.
Yeah, Peterland Railway, they supply us the barriers.
They get some cash
out of it. So anybody who we can use in the local community that we do.
So if you've got a Portaloo business and you're hiding away in Crowell that we don't know about, get in touch with us.
Yeah, because we have to buy them get them from Scunthorpe.
Lincoln, yeah.
Is it Lincoln?
Lincoln. Come from Lincoln.
And I have to get my medals from Lincoln.
Or if you're a timing company, although we really love Jack and we comes
all the way we're not getting rid of Jack.
But there is a timing company in Crowell we could get anyway. But
but Jack's really
Jack is
supportive.
Supportive
of us.
Yes, he is, and he comes at crack of dawn or just in time.
Yeah,
depending
which day is on.
Yeah, and he always delivers it professionally, and it's really, really good, isn't it? Really, really good. So our event just continues to grow a little bit year on year. And or time on time rather than year on year, and we will have to see how it goes, because
we have got a big announcement.
Well, we've got a problem.
Problem.
So much like Royston Basie, Crowell only has the road in and the road out. It's the same road, and we use most of that road for the triathlon, for the bike course, and for the run course.
Yeah.
But Severn Trent / Yorkshire Water, whichever one it is, who's responsible for sewage.
I don't know which one it is either.
It could be both of them. Have decided that they're going to spend the second half of 2025 redoing the sewage works down the main road in Crowell and expanding the capability of that network.
Yes.
Which is going to mean that for 3 weeks in August, the entire road in front of the school is going to be shut off at both ends, and you will not be able to get in or out of Crowell at all that way.
No.
So you will have to go either over the Warpins.
It's not a pleasant journey.
Or round Medge Hall, and that is going to be chaos.
I'm glad we don't live there anymore, to be fair, because
I only go to work there once a week.
Yeah, because I can only imagine, and also it is harvest time.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, we've talked to this about this before. It is a country village, and it is surrounded by farms.
Yes, and they will need to get
arable
in and out.
Farms.
Yeah, hay, wheat and barley, rapeseed, potatoes, beet, sugar beet,
everything.
So we are really the least of everyone's problem if we can't do our triathlon, because I don't know how it must end up being to get from top of Godner Road to the school.
I mean, we're talking these things here, you probably don't know that, but whatever.
But from top of Godner Road to school, and a detour must be 4 mile.
Easy. And not on reasonable roads.
On single carriageway, that's not really, it ain't even a C road, is it?
No.
It's very much gravel. I mean, if you were Tadej Pogacar, you'd fancy gravel racing on them.
Yeah.
So you got a 4 mile detour for everybody on there, on the single carriageway roads. It's just people are going to end up in ditch.
Either side.
Yes, at least for the 3 weeks. And then after that, they're going to be doing road closures, but only on one side, so they'll have traffic management there and stuff. But we're weighing up and just having a look at the plans to see whether we can do our event in September, because if it's not moved on far enough, because the road is going to be shut further up, or or indeed further down towards Eland, then we're not going to be able to run our event because we don't want to give people the experience of having to stand at a red light when we know it's not like it just sprung up overnight when we were planning it. We know that this is going to happen.
So and
the alternative is to send people hurtling down the A18.
which is, I mean, I know my first ever triathlon was on a dual carriageway in Hull.
Beverley.
Well, I thought it were Hull.
We're near Beverley. We're on a dual carriageway to Beverley from Hull.
Well, wherever.
Yeah.
It were a dual
They
carriageway.
were David Lloyd. They don't have David Lloyd's in Oldham.
True. And I never gave it a thought, but mainly because I was so nervous I didn't even know what I was doing. But anyway, that's another story. But I would not want first timers to ride down A18.
No, and we would also lose the super sprint event.
Yeah, we couldn't be. We
Because there's no safe way to turn people around on that road.
And we have a lot of people doing super sprint because it's a great introductory event.
Or people who have got injured
Yeah.
and they want to come. They love doing our race, but they've got a little injury and they can't quite do a sprint at a minute, but they want to do super sprint, like Steve Wrigglesworth.
Yeah.
Who absolutely annihilated the super sprint race, bless him. And it was very magnanimous in the end and said I shouldn't have been doing this because it's not, I'm a sprinter, but I've just got a bit of a niggle in my leg, so I had to do this. But there's no turnaround point halfway down the A18
No.
we can turn around people.
No.
And it's potholed. How would Gen Z describe it? Gnarly.
Is that what they call
Gnarly.
it?
That road is gnarly.
Gnarly.
And
there'll be
traffic, and there's probably going to be more traffic because if you're coming out of Crawl, you'll pick it up.
Major that way. Where serious doggies.
Yeah. And then people are already going to be hacked off about having to take that detour.
Oh, so it's going to be angry motorists. So, is it worth it?
No, it's just not
We don't
worth
think it is. We don't think it is. And also, it's a headache with the risk assessment as well. And I think.
And because, and this is really kind of parochial, but half of the road is in North Lincolnshire. Well, no, a third of the road is in North Lincolnshire, and 2/3 of the road are in Doncaster. So that's two different local authorities.
For permission.
And if one of them says no, then that's a problem. Now, we already know, anecdotally, that North Lincolnshire Council are looking at doing that and are thinking about saying no anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that we need the safety advisory group's permission.
No.
But we don't want to. We do not want to hire them at this point in time.
No. You think, well, we've got to work with these people for years and years and years. So, is it worth it?
Probably not. So, in all likelihood, although we'll know in the next couple of weeks whether the September event is going to go ahead or not. But if I were a betting man, I would say there's pretty good odds on it not going ahead at this point through just circumstances.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting for us because we really like doing that event twice a year and it gives people a nice bookmark.
Yeah, you can see how your training's progressed during the summer.
Or people who pick up summer when they see other people. So we oftentimes for this September event we picked people up who have seen the April-May event, got into triathlon over the summer.
Think, I want to do that.
I want to do that race. So it's unfortunate that we're going to miss out on that this year, but the alternative is just not.
Yeah,
viable.
but we'll come back bigger and better.
Yes, we will. So we'll be back in next spring. The event. Well, if we don't do it in September, then the event will be back next spring.
April the 27th, will it be?
April the 27th. Yeah. And hopefully we will have got some new trinkets to play with.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have got lots of new trinkets to play with.
And our event can be a bit more blingy.
Yeah, very blingy. If it's got anything to do with me, it will be blingy.
So, what are we going to do, or what are we thinking about doing instead?
Right, well, we're quite excited about this because Oliver and I have always liked Super Tri. When it first started, we think, oh, right, good idea that is.
Yeah, because it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different and makes it more fun. And we've always thought, how could we incorporate that in our triathlons? But it's a bit difficult when it's a pool swim. It's a bit easier when
you're doing a lake.
You're doing it in a lake. But what we have had a really, really amazing idea in what we're going to do is
a duathlon. A duathlon.
But not any old duathlon. Not a regular duathlon. No.
We're going to do it in a Super League, Super Tri style.
Yes.
There's no property in an idea.
No, there isn't. And they don't do duathlon.
No, they don't do a triathlon. So we are putting together our version of what that's going to look like, where it will be short races. Some of the disciplines will be mixed up.
Yep.
So it won't always be run by run. There will be heats for you to try and qualify for for the final.
Yep.
We're going to have a repechage final.
Yep. We're going to have
a Predictor League final.
And we're going to have, what about the fancy dress?
Fancy dress final. So all these heats.
A family final.
All these different heats you can enter. It doesn't necessarily matter if you are the fastest or not, because you have the option to be able to get into a final based on a whole other amount of criteria.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a DJ there playing Euro techno and Euro pop, like at 6 days of Ghent, 6 days of Ghent and what have you in the indoor cycling with both ends of it, with speakers at both ends of it.
Yeah.
We're going to make it it'll be, if you want to come and spectate and it's nice, you'll be able to sit out with a glass of wine, because they sell wine at the duathlon track.
Yeah, and we'll see if we're allowed to have a barbecue thing. Yeah, and also if entries permit it and we've got enough money, well then we'll get some kids games. You know, that your little ones can play with, because there's a nice safe space
So
where kids go.
We want to put this on all day. So we're going to start at 9 o'clock and hopefully finish about 3ish.
Yeah.
So we'll have like lots of heats in the morning, finals in the afternoon. There'll be time for having something to eat in the middle of the day. A bit like club relays, but duathlon, and not really a relay. Because we're doing it at the cycling track at Doncaster, there is space for spectators all the way around. So you should be able to watch. It should be able to generate a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, and it's very safe.
Yes. So if you are a newbie and you've never done it before, you don't have to worry, because you can enter the Predictor League, because in order to get to the final, you have to be close to your prediction. And it's all off-road, a 1 kilometre loop, both the run and the ride, and there will be small heats going off for sort of 20 minutes-ish, half an hour as a distance each heat. And it'll just be on
continuous.
Continuous, a bit like a 6-day cycling festival, where they have one race, they come off, and there's another one comes on.
Yeah,
that's what we're aiming for.
So it makes it more interactive and and most of all fun.
Yeah. So when you've finished your race, then you'll be able to watch other people racing.
Yeah, and cheer your mates on, or boo them, or whatever you want to do.
Well, yeah, boo them. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you could call them names.
Yeah.
So that is what we are working on at the moment, and that will be taking place in October.
Yeah, we just got to 1 or 2 issues with the date to sort out.
Yeah.
But it will be in October.
And then once we've got the date nailed, we will be launching that. Anybody who has entered into the triathlon, if we can't do it at the same time, we'll offer you the opportunity to move to the duathlon, and we'll just do that instead. You'll be able to enter it via Rider HQ as usual.
Yeah.
And we'll work out how we're going to put the waivers in that, but we'll sort that out before we get on.
Yeah.
That's relatively straightforward when we know what finals we're doing.
Yeah.
And then it'll be here before you know it. And if it is successful and as fun as we hope it is, then it'll just become an annual event.
Yeah. Yeah, something to look forward to at the end of the season.
And October is really like duathlon time.
It is.
That's when all the duathlon qualifiers are for Euros and World Championships and what have you. So it's not going to be a qualifying event ever, but you can practice some draft legal racing, and you can just thrash yourself about on your bike and a run around the track.
Yeah, in a safe place. So, have we got anything else to say?
I don't think there's anything else that's happened in the last couple of weeks. Nobody's retired or won anything that I can think of that we need to talk about.
No, Lucy Charles Barkley won, didn't she? Ironman
Lanzarote, that was nice to see Lucy Charles Barkley back.
Yeah. Outlaw took place and there were no dramas for Outlaw.
No, good event, Outlaw.
Don't think everything else has really all been going off. You know, I mean, I know some Ironman races abroad have had to turn into duathlons because of the state of the water. They've had bad rains, and I think it was Ironman Macquarie, Port Macquarie in
Australia.
They'd had flood thing, so water quality were rubbish.
They don't have any. They had sharks other year there, didn't they?
Yeah. What water quality this time? Was it Chattanooga?
Oh yeah.
They
had to cancel swim.
they had to cancel swim because of water quality. So, but at least they're looking out for you.
Yes, they're a lot more, and Kona is back for being everybody from 2027, isn't
Well,
it? That's the major news.
Yeah,
Kona's back.
Kona's back, but I don't know whether that's, from a woman's point of view, from a pro, I mean, obviously I'm never going to be a pro woman or anything like that, but from pro women, they get caught up, they catch up the age group men, and it impacts on their race. That's what they've got to solve. That's what they've got to solve, that problem.
And, I mean, I know Kona's good. Oh, it's like the spiritual home of long distance triathlon, but I don't know why they can't just move it round. I mean, technically Sheffield's the spiritual home of football, but we never have World Cup final there every year, do we?
No, we don't.
I mean,
We don't have Euros.
We don't. I mean, the last time we had anything, we're not even getting anything when we have Euros in 2032, are we?
No.
Nothing's coming to Sheffield. So, maybe, one year it could be in Nice, one year it could be in
Hamburg, or
one year it could be in
St George, or
or you could Australia, somewhere in Australia, somewhere in Asia. You could move it round like they do the World Cup, Saudi Arabia. I'm sure they'd be up for having it, or Bahrain.
Yeah,
Bahrain would definitely be up for having it. Yeah.
So,
just move it round. I mean,
because it's about being the best athlete.
Yeah, and different courses will suit different people.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kona's all right if you can cope with heat.
Yeah, but
it's very, very expensive. We know people have gone. It's cost an absolute fortune.
And some people will be very, very good athletes and never win a Kona.
No,
because the course doesn't suit them, the conditions don't suit them. But if you like Nice, might win at that.
Yeah.
Or if you went to Cascais or somewhere, or the one in Finland.
Yeah.
There's plenty. If you moved it around, you would find more winners. Very good athletes would win because the conditions would be more in their favour.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they're not the best, because plenty of good athletes can't win a Kona because it's too hot.
Yeah. Or
the sort of course doesn't suit them. But send them up and down at Nice.
Some sorts out people who can ride a bike. Or can't ride a bike.
Yes. So that's sort of the only thing really, that Kona's coming back into it. But we'll see how that goes on, because people in Kona aren't exactly thrilled about having it, are they?
They're not. And, it's like, I mean, we understand this from our local race. You need to have your local population on side.
Oh, yeah, because we had 2 people come out and complain and carry off at us, didn't we, last time?
Yeah. So...
2 people's nothing. But Kona people, apparently from people who we know have been, not exactly flattering or, welcoming of you. I suppose if your life were turned upside down every year for a week.
But they do bring him in a lot of money. Depends what you want. I don't know. You've got to, it's a fine line, isn't it? So.
I think the people who want it are the people who rent their houses out and go on holiday themselves for a fortnight or a month. Yeah. Put them on Airbnb.
Yeah.
But a lot of rebellions against tourism at the minute.
There are. So, anyhow, that's our 2 penneth.
Yes. So, until next time.
Yeah, we'll do another podcast. So if you've got any ideas or you want to come on and talk to us, then we'd love for you to hear from you. We really would.
We may even do a podcast next Saturday when we've got our athletes coming up to the Socialist Republic of Doncaster.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're having a athletes training weekend.
We are. And if you listen to this podcast and you want to come, it's £25, get yourself booked on.
Yeah.
For a weekend of having been coached by us a swim, a bike and a duathlon.
Yeah. And we could probably, we're going to do some running.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
work that out.
Yeah.
So, until next time, I've been Coach Oliver.
I've been Coach Jackie.
And we'll see thee.
Thank you for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you then. Or as we say in Yorkshire, see thee.